Hey everyone, we are One Take Musical Improv, and we're excited to be part of this hub project. Individually, we are
Asia,
Brandy,
Jasmine,
Ross,
Tommy,
Tanya,
and I'm Faustino.
our musical director. Woo! We also have Bree and Adam as part of One Take Musical Improv. They couldn't be here tonight, but they are super thankful for everything the Hub has done for them. Speaking of, that's why we're here. We're here to talk about how amazing the Hub has been for the past 5+ years now. They have made a huge impact in this city, in this community. In fact, half of One Take's sets have been at Hub shows, and we've been fortunate enough to have drop-in classes that we've hosted, jams that we've been able to play with other folks in the community together, and of course, we've been some of the guest troops as well at some of the Hub shows. So we're super excited to see what happens with Hub in the future. But for now, we are going to talk about some of our favorite One Take Hub moments. Is everyone ready?
yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to keep dancing until everyone else starts dancing.
Oh.
one of my favorite moments.
Brandy, dance.
This is the yes and dance. So yes and it and dance.
So yeah, who wants to go first? Brandy, you already had one loaded in the chamber there?
Yeah, one of the ones that I really liked was when Tommy was the guy under the bridge. So it was this gross CEO girl is Asia, and Tommy was this guy that lived under a bridge that was dating her. He left gum in her hair for work the next day. And then this bridge, which I got to be with Jasmine, which anytime I can be an object is like winning. We moved as a bridge depending on their song.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was when Brandy and I kept closing in on them and being a very intrusive bridge.
I really thoroughly enjoyed when there was a tree witch, and then her tree also was there. This is another classic one-take moment when Brandy becomes an inanimate object. It's kind of her thing.
A tree specifically. Brandy loves to be trees specifically on top of just objects. Yeah.
This moment was only made better by the fact that Jasmine had a little bit of difficulty getting into the windowsill that was her tree. So as she's struggling to climb into the windowsill, it was just so much of it was just what makes improv so beautiful, and I just loved it.
But part of that was the whole back line of trees. We had the coolest choreography of being together with Faustino.
Oh,
It was way cool.
good. That was awesome.
I gotta tell you, just having that epiphany moment made me just realize I'm big believer that a lot of musical improv has to do with just being vulnerable and sharing the joy, which is music, with people. So many moments that happened in our tenure with the Hub, but the one I keep telling people, when I'm on the road, is the line, "We're gonna shake our little Martian butts." Just because it just came out of a moment of we're having so much fun.
I have to see the Moonshins again. I have to see the Moonshins.
We're gonna have a party. You're only invited. We're gonna have a party. And I'm so excited.
And that's my of all of my favorites. The Mushin set is one of my favorites. The Mushin stuff was all fantastic, but there's a defining moment in that set for me. It was our third night in a row we were performing as One Take, and things had gone well, but this set just for me set what we were doing and set what we wanted to accomplish. It was set in stone from there on. That first song Jasmine and I did after the intro, where I was the grandpa and she wants to go to the rocket and go into outer space. That song was the most comfortable I had ever felt on stage. Everything worked. Tonia and Brandy acting as our rocket ship. So many things in that moment. Right after that, I'm just like, this is what I want to do. I found my favorite thing.
Best day of my life. This is the best day of my life. And here we go.
I wanted to point out another one that was from the Mushin set. It started off, I was a rover that used to be on Mars, and I went to the moon because the moon was cooler or something like that. And then Jasmine had a great idea to make me like more like a dog. So like it's a rover that is like a dog that you have to play like frisbee with. But like there was this whole moment where the rover was dead, like the battery died. The whole audience freaked out. And then Tonia was like, wait, no, there's another way. And so like the rover came back, partly because the rover, which is me, felt really bad. The audience really cared about this rover.
I appreciate being able to music direct all of you, if I can use that as a verb. But we also had a few other guest musicians join us. For the longest time, we've had Jonah Schulman, who's been our resident drummer. And I think even our first One Take show, he was drumming. Normal improv band is just piano and drums. This is one of the few times, like maybe in the entire world, where we can actually have more than one instrumentalist. So not only did we have Jonah as our drums, but we also had the lovely duo of daughter, father, Luis and Aolani.
One of my favorite moments is actually from that show from Asia, your first show as well at the Hub. And my favorite moment was at the end, how somehow we all ended up in twos. And all these like parallel stories happening that we didn't like. It was just kind of like another improv magic thing. Like we had no idea. And it was almost like a fugue style situation, and it was really, really cool. And I just loved how it all came together, because sometimes when you're in a set, it feels like it's kind of going all over the place, and then it just like snap.
Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. That's a shame. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Ross and I, early on, it was one of my first performances with One Take. Ross and I got to do a duet about wouldn't it be a shame if these horrible things would befall the protagonist? And it was just that song in particular. It really felt like it clicked for me. So it was a real kind of watershed moment for me.
That is really funny to me. It's quite the knee slapper. It would be a shame if something were to befall that day. One more time.
My ultimate favorite One Take moment at the Hub is what happened on hands down the best night of my life. My beautiful friends in the improv and theater community organized an Au revoir cabaret, and I was completely blindsided. That opening number, You're Gonna Like It, was so, I felt so connected immediately. All of us were up there and we just connected. In fact, a friend of mine in the theater community that has only seen us, in really small doses, she thought the show was scripted. She was like, no, it wasn't. You scripted it.
I also just realized in that same opening number, we actually had Kim, our coach, join the set, which she's also an amazing human being and a fantastic singer.
You're gonna like it, you're gonna like it, you better freaking like it. You're gonna like it, you're gonna like it, you better freaking like it. You're gonna like it, you're gonna like it, you better freaking like it. You're gonna like it, you're gonna like it, you better freaking like it.
Thank you for every moment we spent in the 705. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, every single person who's ever come to a show and who supports improv in Las Vegas. We love you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
All right, let's drink at Rebar.